So hello everyone, welcome to Programming Knowledge. So in today's video, we will see how we can integrate REST API into our Flutter application. In this video, we will implement the API using the HTTP package. So without wasting any time, let's move on to our today's topic. So I have created one application. In this application, I have created the screen, and in that I have created one class model. Now what is class model? A class model is a class in which we define only the parameter, only the variables. Like this, you can see like there are variables like such as ID, author, title, publisher, and also there is a constructor. And whenever you are working with API, so it returns the data in the form of JSON object. So one method to convert the JSON to a object, and one method to create an object to the JSON. So now what we will do, let me just show you the screen of our application. So this is our app. So now you can see if I will add this, and let me just add one book name, and the book name, let us see. Okay, it's over here. We have to add the author name. Let's keep the author name unknown, and the publisher, let's keep it 2000. Now when we are adding the book, now you can see a book is added and it is displayed. But when I'm restarting the application, now you can see that that book is removed because that book is not storing into any database or anywhere. So let's start with integration of API. So I have created the backend code. So in that code, like I have generated some APIs. So let's go to a Dart file and call that file, and I'm naming it services. Now you can name it anything. Let me just call it services and this. Before that, now when we are working, let us clear it. So when we are working with the HTTP package, so you have to import the HTTP package, so that first add the HTTP package. So I have made one mistake. Let me just add the package. So after adding it, you have to do flutter pub get. After the addition, now what you are going to do, import the package to the class. Import HTTP package to http.dart. You have to write this line, and after that as HTTP. Then, so now how the URL looks, let me show you that. So this is the, I'm writing the basic URL, localhost.5000.api books and add. So now what is this? So now you can see, let us say that these are the APIs. These three API we will integrate into a Flutter service right now. So these three are APIs. Now from these three APIs or URL, you have to remove, like you have to take out the common one. So the common one is still HTTP, then the localhost, then the port number, then API, and then books. So till here it is common and it is present in all of the below lines. So what we called that? We called it as a base URL. So that is a base URL from books to localhost, and we added successfully. We don't need the /. So it's done. We had created a basic URL. So that is a base URL. Now we are going to integrate this three. So let us give a tag. And now we will make a method called getBooks. First, we will make this method getBooks. Then, what this book will do, this book, and it will return the list of book. You already know what is book. Book is a data model. So let's just move to the next one, the try and the catch. So this may return some kind of error. So we are just encapsulating into a try catch block. Then whatever the error is, just print it and return a empty list. Also, now another thing. Now we are going to get a response. Like first, let me call the package http.get. It is a get request, so we are using the get one. Like when you are getting something or fetching something, so mostly the request is generated into get one. And when you are adding something, so mostly it is in the post method. And in the delete method, sometimes it can be anything. So we have one method also called delete in the API. So these are the, like it is mentioned in the API file. So you don't have to much worry about it. Just check that if it is a get request, you are using http.get. So I'm using http.get. Now you can see that it will take as a URI. So we are getting one error, and that error is like just keep this. Okay, now we are still getting the error, and that error is one positional argument. It means we required an argument. So what is that requirement? That requirement is a base URL, but it's in string, and we want to pass it in the form of URI. So you have to write URI.pass, and it will take a string URI. And what is the string URI? A base URL. But this is this API. But what is our get API? We have to suffix it with /get. So let's write /get and encapsulate it into a string and within the last one. So our HTTP GET request is ready. Now this will return a response. Done. And this process may take some time, or it is a synchronous process. So let's just add await and async. After that, what you are going to do? If response.status code equals to 200 or response.status code equal to 201, then you will get the JSON.decode. So now what is JSON.decode? Like whenever we are sending the data through the API, we encode it into the form of JSON. So now we are decoding it. Now let's just decode it. And we have to write the response.body. So it's done. Now we have data into a file. So the last thing, what we are going to do, we are going to return. Before returning, we have to return in the form of list of book. So we are creating a list, and what? It is a data. So let's just convert this data into map. Okay. Then it will take a data, and we are going to do like this. Data. Okay. We have make one method called from JSON data dot to list. So this is a syntax we have to follow. This is a syntax which converts the list of JSON list of map to a book data, and then in the last you just have to return the list which we created. But it's still giving the error. What is the error? Like if the status code is not 200, so you just have to print JSON decode response.body, and you have to return an empty list. So it's done. Our first API which we created is successfully integrated. Now this is a GET request. So how to use in the book screen? Now I have created a stateful widget because I have to update the state. So let's just make one method called init state. What this method will do, like let's just remove all the element in the list. So then our book is empty for now. And over here we are going to write one method get books. This is a basic method, nothing much. And just in that method we will integrate a service. How to integrate it? Let's just call the services class dot get books method. Okay, but this is and it will return a list of books, and we want all the list of books to be fill this data. So how we will write books equals to services dot get books. Now what you can see again, see this books over here, it is returning a future list of books. So how to typecast it? To typecast the future you have to write await and async. That's it. Just one thing, you have to call the set state method so that it will tell the UI to update the screen. So now what we can do, we can also make one thing that okay, let's not go for there over right now, and I have hot restarted it and go to a screen. Now you can see we don't have any books till now. Maybe we have some kind of issue over here. Type error. Okay, so there's a type error that JS array dynamic type list of dynamic is not a subtype of list book. Okay, so we have some error over here. JSON.decode body as we have to write list of map of string, or we have to list string of dynamic and save it. Now you can see it is done. So all of these are the data. So the API fetched it successfully, and these are the data which is not present in the list over here. You can see that this list is empty. Okay, but from where the data is coming? The data is coming from the database, and all the data are present in the database. So it is done successfully. Now what we are going to do? We are going to add the data into a database. Now let's see, like if I am adding one data and again call it unknown, and the book return is, let us see, and the publisher is 2000, and add the book, and let's just refresh it. So now you will see the data was added, but it is not added into the database. So now how to add into the database using a API, we will see that. So now what? Now this API is ready. So now we will integrate the post API. So how to make this API? We just have to use the same method as before. So what we are going to do, we are just going to copy this and paste it over here. This time this will call it add book, and this will return a string. Okay, and then what it will return, it will over here, it will return error, and we will write, and we will just pass this. And over here it will same return the error, and this time we will pass error, and over here it will return data added, and we don't require any of the return field right now. And lastly what we are going to do, this time it will return it, this is the add API, and it will post the data. Okay, but now when it's coming to posting, it means it will also send the data to the server. So it will take header. Now what is this header? You don't have to focus so much, you just have to write the content type over here, and over here you have to write the application/JSON. And it is also used when we have the tokens. So whenever you are having a token, you have to write authorization over here, and over here you have to write the, depending is if you have bearer token, so you just have to write the whatever the token over here. Just make a token field, token string field, and it will run. So if you have tokens, so you have to do this. If you don't, so don't need it. So I don't have any token right now, so I'm not using it. Then you need a body, and the data is transferred in the form of JSON. So you just have to use JSON.encode. And now we will take the book data from the method whenever from where we are calling. So just use this, and we already created one method called toJSON. And now you can see this method is over here, like toJSON method. It will return a map. It's done. Add book method is returned. So in the book screen class, whenever where we are adding the book over here, so instead of this line, what we are going to write, we are going to write services dot add book, and we will pass the book method, which book object which we created, and we will store, but it will return a message, right? So if it will return a message, but the message is coming in the future form, so we will add await. Then if message dot contains error, we already mentioned if there is error, it means there is any issue. So if it's error, just print the message, and if no error is there, just call the setState method and add the book to the list. Now we don't need this method, so we are almost done over here. Just save it, go to the class over here, just add one book unknown. Let us see, publisher 2000. Just click on add book, and now you can see the book is added. Now let's just refresh it, and you will see that the book is still there. So this means it doesn't lost this time. So now what we are going to do, we are almost done with the all of the things. And now what we can do also, like if we need, we can do on tap, like when the list style is tapped, we will delete the book. On whatever we click, we delete the book. So it will be the method, and it will just call the method. So now let's just quickly create a delete book method. So we will copy the method, we'll write delete book, and okay, let's not just copy this one and paste this, and over here we will write delete book. Okay, so if we are doing this one, so we don't have to change all of this, and you just have to write delete successfully. Now you will see that we have done with this API, only delete API is remaining. So delete API is little unique. So we just have to, so now what we are going to do, over here instead of add, we will write delete. But there is API which is colon and ID. So this means we'll get the ID, we'll get a string ID from the method, and we will write in such a way, like we will add a forward slash, and instead of this colon ID, we will add the ID directly. So this is how the API will be there, and this is the delete API. And this won't, like, we will not require the body and header, and it is done. So come over the book screen class, and similarly write string message equals to services dot delete book, and it will take a ID. So we will write ID UID string UID, and it is done. So we have to add await and done, and the same concept. If the message contains the error, so just print it, and if it doesn't, so just set state. It's done. Now where we are passing the delete book over here, it also asking for the UI array. It's also asking for the ID. So the way we are accessing title, author, publisher, we will access the books index dot ID, and this is done. So let's just save it. Now go to our class again. Now from this, we just have to click on this Harry Potter, so it will get deleted. Click on this, and if get deleted, so we will get the update. But if it didn't get deleted, it means there is some kind of error. Okay, there is no errors, so maybe the set state isn't called properly. Let's just save it, refresh it, and see. Okay, it is gone. So where we are calling the set state, it's not updating the list properly. So okay, it is not. Why it isn't happening? It is because we are not removing it from a list. Okay, so we also need the index, and we will write books dot remove at, and we will pass the index. So we also have to remove from the local list, right? And it also saying for the list index in the same. And now, for example, we have to remove the first one, so that the first one is removed. And even if we refresh the screen or refresh our app, it is still deleted. So if you want to, the grid gets by the hot wait, and now let's just go back, and everything is deleted. So this is how we can integrate the APIs which we get into our Flutter application. So that's it for today's video. Thank you.